So we're at 5. We're at the home stretch, Jay.
Oh my God, we've been at this for 8 hours.
I know.
My number 5 is The Gift, which we talked about.
Okay. I have a simple plan. I'm shocked I put this that high.
I'm surprised you put this that high too, because
it violates my normal criteria. It does.
As I say, you don't like depressing movies.
I don't like depressing movies, but nice story of just corruption. Good people becoming bad people. It's interesting.
Yeah.
It's an interesting movie, and I never want to watch it again.
Well, it's a good character drama. And
Yes.
This is Sam Raimi at his most, like, see, I can make a Coen Brothers movie. Because this is, obviously it takes place in the winter. It's very Fargo-like. The difference being, though, that, like, because this is a similar thing where it's these kind of lower-class characters, kind of inept when it comes to the world of crime. And if this is a Coen Brothers movie, that would be played for laughs. And this movie is very straight. It's very dramatic.
It's a tragedy.
Yeah.
And it subverted my expectations in a way that was interesting and pleasant, rather than just subverting my expectations for the sake. Because when we first get to the introduction of the money, with the introduction of the plot, we're going to keep this money. I wrote down, these people are too stupid for this plan to work, which I suppose is the point. That's what I wrote down.
Yeah.
But really, it was the smartest one in the group who ended up becoming the most corrupted. I wrote down here somewhere. I was like a quote I really liked because it summarizes the movie. Nobody would ever believe you'd be capable of doing what you've done. He just seems like a really nice, affable guy, and you'd never believe he's capable of doing what he's doing. But just that temptation for the money, it was too much. And by the end of the movie, he's responsible for multiple deaths.
Yes.
And it does sound so simple at first. All they have to do, they find this plane that's crashed in the wood. It's filled with money. They assume it's drug dealer money, and they think, well, we could just keep this money, right? It sounds so simple. We're going to keep the money till the spring, and if nobody comes fishing around with that plane, well, it's our money then. Mm-hmm. And it's not that simple at all.
That's why the title is
That's
ironic.
why the title's, yeah.
Well, also the fact that his wife, they have a new baby, she kind of eggs him on.
You're gonna tape Lou confessing to Stevenson's murder.
What are you talking about?
Oh, yeah. Oh, no.
In a way that you would not expect.
Another subversion of expectations. You would expect the wife to be the voice of reason. You can't do this. What are you doing?
No, she's the devil on his shoulder.
She's the devil on his fucking shoulder. She's the worst of them all. You've got to frame your friend. Mm-hmm. You got to frame your brother's friend. You have to do it.
To the points that they get, she's also being the smartest about it.
Yeah.
Where it's like, we're in this situation, now we have to deal with it. So you should try doing this. Like, she's trying to be logical. And that's the thing, too, is like that idea that, like, yeah, okay, we got to deal with this issue. Oh, no, that leads to another issue. We got to deal with that issue. How it's like how things can spiral out of control, and you can try and justify it. And that's the whole movie, is that it just leads to more and more complications.
Hank, do you ever feel evil?
So I have this so high on my list just because I find all of this very interesting. It's just a little character study.
A little moral dilemma.
Mm-hmm. And watch their arcs. It's very fascinating. I never want to see it again, though, because it is painful watching what happens to them.
Especially because Billy Bob Thornton's character, he's simple. He's a very simple man, let's say.
If
I know what you mean.
And there's that great, all the acting is great.
I love it when he said, I'm going to be happy now, right?
Yeah.
Ooh, it hurt. Mm-hmm. It hurt my soul.
This might be my favorite performance by him. He's really, really good in it. Everybody's good in it. And that's the thing, too, about watching all these Sam Raimi movies kind of like together, is realizing how many really, really good actors he's worked with. I always think of him as like, oh, Bruce Campbell, being goofy. But between this and like Cate Blanchett and The Gift, like everybody that he's worked with, some of these movies, he's really gotten like some of the best performances out of them. Like I mentioned, Keanu Reeves is so good in The Gift. I put down, now I can talk about the rabbit hole I went down while watching this movie.
Oh, okay, rabbit hole. Ooh, interesting.
Because the most tense scene in the movie is there's Billy Bob Thornton and his brother is Bill Paxton. They're the two brothers, and then they have their other friend. Mm-hmm. Brent Briscoe is the actor's name. who showed up in Spider-Man 2 briefly. But it's the three of them. They're the ones that find the money. And then they decide that they're going to get Brent Briscoe drunk and record him, audio record him confessing to this murder. And then it, of course,
Which even
spirals out of
sounds
control.
like a stupid plan.
Yeah,
Right?
but it makes sense in their heads.
Yeah.
Like the way they're going to do it makes sense. And that whole scene is so tense because you're not sure who Billy Bob Thornton is going to side with. He kind of starts making fun of Bill Paxton, and it's like, oh, he's not going to,
But he's actually being really smart.
but he's being really clever. And then Brent Briscoe's wife shows up, and it turns into a whole thing, and it turns into a big shootout. It's like the best scene. It's a very tense scene. But I'd seen this movie a few times, and I always remembered that the wife was played by one of the actresses from the original Evil Dead. I was like, oh, that's cool. After all this time, Sam Raimi is still working with these actors, and I always thought that was neat. But then I went to look at the IMDb for this movie, and that is not the actress from Evil Dead. The actress from Evil Dead is Betsy Baker. And so I was like, oh, I thought I could swear that it looks like her. Like if you see what she looks like as an older lady, it looks like her. So Linda in Evil Dead is Betsy Baker. This actress is Becky Baker.
Oh,
No relation.
no relation.
No relation whatsoever. But she is married to Dylan Baker, who plays Dr. Connors in the Spider-Man movies. So it just became like a big tangled spider
Oh,
web.
incestuous web.
Yeah. She takes a shotgun just like Linda in Evil Dead. That's a shocking moment. She goes flying into the kitchen cabinets. Oh, the only other note I put about A Simple Plan, there's a certain point towards the end, they're in Bill Paxton's kitchen. For some reason, he has a picture of Lou Ferrigno on his fridge.
He's just a fan.
He just liked the Incredible Hulk TV show?
He was at a convention, just unrelated reasons, just for something else. But Lou Ferrigno's at all the conventions.
That's true.
Just there, I'll take pity. I'll buy a photo. And then in the end, they get nothing too. They
Oh,
find
yes.
out the money's marked. So all of it's for nothing.
All of it's for nothing. That's what I always remember, even before rewatching this. I had it burned into my brain, that part at the end where he's just throwing the money into the fireplace.
Yeah. All for
Bridget
nothing.
Fonda behind him, like, still trying to stop him from doing it.
It made me feel things, which movies rarely ever make me feel something, which is why I have this as high as it is.
Sure.
I felt bad for these people.
Yeah. Especially Billy Bob Thornton.
Yes.
Like, he's such a simple man. He's not very bright. There's that great part in the car where he's talking about the girl that went on a date with him in high school because her friends paid her to do it.
Yep.
And he's like, that's
I
still
still
cool that she
enjoy
was
it
nice to
anyway.
me. Yeah.
Because nobody's ever been that kind to him. That is kindness to him. Yeah, no.
Great movie, great performances. I should have put that higher on my list.
I'm sorry, Jay, you didn't.
I have no faith in any of my lists
Oh,
anymore.
don't worry, Jay. My list is the one that's going to get picked apart, okay?
That's true.
Yeah.
It's like,
My number 4 is Drag Me to Hell.
Okay. My number 4 is Army of Darkness.
Whoa. Wrong book.
We did a whole commentary track for Army of Darkness. I don't know what else there is to say about it.
We've said everything we can say about this movie.
It peaks in the first act, unfortunately.
That is the reason that this isn't like number 2 or something. It is responsible for some of the greatest lines in cinema history.
This is my boomstick!
I have a feeling Boomstick gets like almost overlooked. This becomes so common to refer to a shotgun as a boomstick. I don't think people realize that when he calls it a boomstick in this, it's a joke.
Oh yeah, they say that because these are dummies.
Yes. Well, it's a dummy treating everyone around them. It's a dummy treating everyone around him like they're dummies when they're probably smarter than he is.
Oh sure, but that's that arrogance.
Yes, it's got this wonderful. This is when Bruce Campbell found out what he does well. This is when that kind of arrogant, smug.
Yeah, it is weird because he's not. Throughout the course of these 3 movies, he's not a consistent character.
No,
First
he's
movie,
entirely
generic.
different in every movie.
Yeah, first movie, generic, just college guy. He's not even really the protagonist until everybody else is dead. And then he's just like the protagonist because there's no one else there. And then the second movie, there's a little bit of that smarminess.
Yeah, but it's mostly just like goofy.
Yeah, it's a lot more physical. And then this movie is the Bruce Campbell persona that everybody knows.
A mixture of arrogance and stupidity.
Yeah.
Klaatu, Marata.
But he does one thing very well, which is kill monsters. That's his strength. As dumb as he is, he's very adept at killing monsters.
Yo, she-bitch. Let's go.
You got some, I don't think we've talked about the Sam Raimi point of view shots, like the arrow. He does that a lot.
Oh yeah, the inanimate objects.
Yes, and it's always comically exaggerated because there's no way it would take an arrow that long to find its mark. But it works.
There's some of that in that stuck out to me in rewatching Crime Wave when Bluto gets into Louise Lasser's apartment and she's throwing like dishes at him.
Yeah.
They come at him so slow. But visually, it's funny.
It's a cinematic exaggeration.
Yeah, the inanimate object point of view shots.
But then here it's immediately followed up with the extraordinarily long, like trucking panning shot back to Bruce Campbell. Mm-hmm. But before we're out of the first act, I just want to say the hag fight is probably one of my favorite action scenes ever made, and it's all just the energy of his fucking editing and camera work.
Yeah, that's the thing, is the actual fight isn't anything amazing.
It's a simplistic fight, but just the way it's filmed makes it feel like the most exciting, most energetic thing that has ever happened.
And that whole scene was, and it's funny because that's Sam Raimi thinking on his feet. That was the result of we don't have the budget to do the scene that we were planning to do, which was going to be much more elaborate with these big pillars, and the hag was going to knock down the pillars.
Somebody takes a log and throws this log and jams it down her throat, and then her face swells up and she spits the log out again.
And they didn't have they ran out of money, they ran out of time to do it, so they just had like a 2-wall little castle set and just shook the camera a lot. And it works. It's one of the best parts of the movie.
Super effective.
Yeah.
If the entire movie were like, up to that scene, if the entire movie were like that first act, it would 1 or 2 on my list.
Yeah.
I kind of hate the middle of the movie.
I like the middle of the movie in the same way I like the third act of the original Evil Dead, where it's like, oh, it's just Bruce Campbell and Sam Raimi messing around.
Hey, what's that you got on your face? Huh?
Being creative with the camera work. But you're missing all the fish out of water stuff, which is the best stuff in the movie.
Your entire premise of the movie is ashes in medieval times. Mm-hmm. Instead, now for the middle of the movie, he's just alone and they're doing Evil Dead 2 again. It's Evil Dead 2, but without the blood gore.
Yeah.
It's like PG-13 Evil Dead 2, and nobody's interested in PG-13 Evil Dead 2. We have Evil Dead 2.
I think that's also, it might have been a budget thing too. Because the opening has all these extras, and there's the big castle set, and then obviously the climax of the movie is a big fight, big battle between the skeletons and our main characters. So I think it was like, we don't have enough money left over to do anything cool in the middle. We'll just have Bruce Campbell run around. I don't know.
They needed to go full like D&D adventuring party, full Lord of the Rings. Arthur needed to be there. They'd have to find some reason for Eric the Red to be there.
Yeah.
You have Ted Raimi. He's like a squire that's getting shit on by the knights. The blacksmith's there. You just keep these characters around with Ash because that fish out of water and him interacting with them. That's what they should have been doing.
Yeah, I don't know. Play into tropes. Play into fantasy movie tropes, because that's the joke. It's a fantasy story with Bruce Campbell as your lead.
Go ahead and run. Run home and cry to mama.
If I were feeling really crazy and ballsy, I might have just had like a fantasy elf join the group for no good reason. What's this?
If any movie could get away with it, yeah. What's this little goblin? It would just be Ted Raimi with little pointy ears.
Oh, and you film him like a hobbit, like it looks like he's like really small too?
Yeah. That'd work.
Yeah.
Oh, that would have been great. Now I have a better version of Army of Darkness in my head.
But then, I think it does redeem itself because I love the skeleton swashbuckling section.
Oh yeah, it's fun, and it leads to maybe my favorite comedic shot in any movie ever, which is all these skeletons just being thrown at Bruce Campbell. They're not even articulated. I'm picturing it's probably Sam Raimi tossing them. It's so funny. I mean, visually it's funny, but it's almost more so funny because it's in the movie. This is a big Universal movie, and there's a scene where he's just throwing rubber skeletons at Bruce Campbell.
It's almost like breaking the fourth wall. It's like everybody knows these are just rubber skeletons.
Yeah.
We're leaning into it.
They're all voiced by Sam Raimi, all the skeletons.
So yeah, it kind of comes back around and saves it for me at the end. I do. It's one of my favorite swashbuckling scenes, like in general.
Yeah. Oh yeah, the actual, even like as goofy as the movie is, the actual sword fighting is pretty good. The choreography's good. Him fighting the evil Ash at the end.
I like Arthur kicking the sword boy. I could list. I could list a lot of things from this movie I just like. It would just be me listing fun things. I guess the ending. Which ending, and why?
Oh, I think we did talk about this on the commentary, but the theatrical ending is so much more fun.
Yes.
Thematically, and just like with the character of Ash, I understand the downbeat ending. Him being arrogant and losing track of how many drops he's taken and waking up 1,000 years in the future.
Also, it's kind of just hysterical, him giving up the opportunity to be like king and the big important person in this realm, just to go back to working at S-Marks.
Working at S-Marks. Telling stories about his swashbuckling that nobody believes. Ted Raimi's bored.
And
I think that theatrical ending is so much more fun.
Lady, I'm afraid I'm going to have to ask you to leave the store.
And I'm never giving up Hail to the King, baby.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
No.
Okay, we're on board with that.
The shootout is great. It's so funny. Eventually, they did pay off more with Ash versus Evil Dead, because I was like, oh, I want to see more of him in like normal settings, fighting monsters, which you never really get in the other movies. They're in the cabin in the woods. They're in the medieval times.
Ash versus Evil Dead is great. It's where the formula finally all came together, too. It's Evil Dead perfected. You get the horror elements, like that first episode he directed with the college girl and her fucking body twists around.
Oh yeah.
Horrifying. So it has the legitimate horror of Evil Dead 1. It's got the comedy of Evil Dead 2. And Ash himself is the version of Ash as we see in Army of Darkness.
He's the dumbass.
It has finally all come back together, and tone-wise, everything-wise, it's the perfect version of Evil Dead.
I would say it starts as the perfect. I think it gets more overtly comedic
Later
as it goes
season,
along. Yeah. It becomes more like there's horror stuff, but it's more just like cheap gross-out gags. So, but when it starts, yes, that first episode that Sam Raimi directed is great.
That first episode, and I love the end of season 1 where they just had that group of hikers who are in peril. I love that girl who's just there, and you legitimately don't know if she's going to survive or not. So it's actually tense.
Yeah, I'd say the first season is pretty great. They're all good. I like all 3 seasons, and I do like that it kind of ends up, it wasn't meant to be the series finale, but that just didn't get picked up for more. So it kind of ends up where Army of Darkness originally ended, which is him in the post-apocalyptic future, fighting monsters. It's like, okay, eventually he got there. As much as I would like to see a full season of him doing that, as a like final curtain call for the character of Ash, it works. And that's something worth pointing out too, if we're talking about Army of Darkness and Evil Dead. The Evil Dead franchise has obviously continued. Sam Raimi's not directing them anymore, but he still produces them. I don't know if you've seen any of the more recent ones.
I don't really care about the concept of an Evil Dead without Ash.
That's fair.
I just don't care.
They're more like overtly horror films, which I know you don't care about. But I will say, not a bad movie in the bunch. Evil Dead has not had a bad movie in the entire franchise, and that's rare.
Good for you, Evil Dead.
And if we're talking about Sam Raimi, because obviously he's a big producer, he kind of does that more these days than directs. In the movies he produces, the Evil Dead movies and other movies, it seems like his main goal is to find like an interesting young filmmaker to helm these things. So he always finds someone that's done like 1 or 2 very small movies, but has like a good, clear vision and gives them a shot.
Very good for him. I like that Sam Raimi. He's a good guy.
He's going places.
We should do a ranking video about that man.
Oh, that's a good idea. Someday we'll do that.
Hail to the king, baby.
All right. My number 3 is Darkman.
My number 3 is Darkman.
Oh my God.
Finally, at number 3, we've convened.
I love Darkman. It's not as polished as some of his other movies, but it's just one of his most interesting movies.
I don't know that I have anything new to add to it. I did say and watch it because I had all of Sam Raimi in my mind. Durant, the actor who played Durant, probably would have been a good, more comic accurate Dr. Octopus. Which, I know you love Doctor. It probably would have been, a worse for the movie overall. I just watched it and I was thinking, he'd be a good comic book Doc Ock.
Gentlemen, Rick, I'm proud of you. Clean through the brain, that's how I like it.
Larry Drake is that actor. He played the mentally challenged character on L.A. Law.
Oh, yeah. That's what else he was in.
And he also played the mentally challenged character in the movie Night of the Scarecrow. So I guess he specialized in playing mentally challenged people.
Have a nice flight.
I will say if he played Doc Ock, it would be a lot more uncomfortable because Doc Ock spends a lot of that movie shirtless for some reason. We get a lot of flabby Alfred Molina in that film.
It's got to be really hard for Doc Ock to put a t-shirt on.
That's true.
Let's be honest.
What's weird, though, in that movie, in Spider-Man 2, he's often wearing a trench coat with no shirt underneath it. So he's a trench coat that works with the arms, but no shirt underneath.
I can see a trench coat, as long as you cut holes for the arms, I could see that being easier to put on.
I guess.
That makes sense to me.
More so than a t-shirt.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's fair.
I wrote down, I don't know if we mentioned this in our review, but just seemed a line I liked that I don't think I brought up. It was Liam Neeson, just the ultra cheesy line, like very pulpy. What is it about the dark?
What is it about the dark? What secret does it hold?
Well, you got the lighting on his the Captain Kirk highlighting. I love that little bit.
Later too, there's a part when he's like, "What have I become? What have I become?" All those they're very corny. They're very pulpy lines, but it works for this movie.
Universal monster as superhero.
Yes.
The other thing I wrote here, I like the graveyard transition. I don't remember if we talked about that in the review.
And that guy, the guy who's like, all they found was an ear. Didn't take me long to bury that.
Didn't see you doing much work out there.
Guy got blown to pieces. All they found was an ear.
That older guy, that actor, his name is Julius something. He was in Crime Wave.
Okay.
Very briefly. He had a small part in Crime Wave. Sam Raimi's bringing back that guy.
Why not? Why not? But we did a review. You could watch it here. Whatever. I don't give a shit. Pulpy goodness.
Yes.
Solid number. I think we're at 2 already. Solid number 3.
Take it now. Take it. Take the fucking elephant.
My number 2 is Spider-Man 2, which we've talked about.
Fine movie. Is number 6 on my list. My number 2, and this came as a complete surprise to me: The Quick and the Dead.
Asshole.
I had never seen this movie before. So this movie was a complete mystery to me. Here's the story. I avoided this because I knew it came out in that era when he was doing the more serious Hollywood movies. It came out in the era when he was doing The Gift, A Simple Plan, and I had no interest in seeing a drier Western.
Well, I would say, more appropriately, he did this right after Darkman.
I realize that now. I saw this movie for the first time. I fucking loved it.
It's very good.
I fucking loved it. I had 12 other Sam Raimi movies I had to watch for this. Mm-hmm. After I watched it a second fucking time. I watched clips from various scenes I liked again. I procrastinated on my homework to watch this movie a second time. I got near the end, I watched them all, I'm making my list, and I'm like, Jesus Christ, am I really putting this movie that high? I watched it a third time just to be sure. I loved it just as much the third time.
It's very good. And
yes.
it is especially if looking at Darkman and then this, and it feels like Darkman visually, just set in the West. Uh-huh. But visually, it looks so similar. The type of shots, whatever, film stock or lenses they used, it looks so much like Darkman.
There's some Dollars trilogy in this movie's DNA, too.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
You essentially have The Man with No Name, but it's Sharon Stone.
Yeah.
And that's a rarity to see a Western with a a female lead, and she does a good job. Yeah, it's a very interesting cast because it's Sharon Stone, hot off of Basic Instinct. She was a big deal at the time. She's a producer on the movie too. Gene Hackman, who's just obviously, of course, legendary actor.
All I hear from you, you spineless cowards, is how poor you are. And yet somehow you've all managed to find the money to hire a professional gunfighter to kill me.
But then you have up-and-comers like Leonardo DiCaprio, pre-Titanic, Leo DiCaprio.
Russell Crowe.
Pre-Gladiator, Russell Crowe.
Yeah.
And then you have people, like I hadn't seen this movie since the 90s, so I was surprised when the other people showed up.
Keith David,
Lance Henriksen is in this thing.
Uh-huh.
They don't last very long because it's a Western.
Because the entire premise it's just a great, simple premise. Just we're going to have a quick draw competition, and all of these colorful characters are going to come into town and compete in the competition.
Yeah, it's a great premise. It's a great setup for a Western. And then, of course, our main character, played by Sharon Stone, she has a backstory that she wants revenge against Gene Hackman, so you have that personal connection. It's all great.
Her story pales in comparison to Russell Crowe's. I love his character arc in this movie. From outlaw to priest to temptation to kill, wonderful, wonderful stuff.
Yeah, and then him kind of teaming up with Sharon Stone. They work well together.
I wrote down it's a morality play about murder, where the correct answer is murder. Sharon Stone's and Russell Crowe's character arc is they need to be okay with murder, and that saves the town.
Like I said, this is right after Darkman, so it still has some of that like Sam Raimi flair. Like one of the opening shots, we have the inanimate object point of view. We have it attached to the gun, and Sharon Stone throws her hat right on the lens.
Well, you got the POV bullet shot at the end.
Yes,
screaming Gene Hackman.
And that's why it's like the perfect. We were talking about like the premise is great. The idea that it's just like a quick draw competition in this town. And that's perfect for Sam Raimi because then you don't just have like the final showdown. You have multiple showdowns throughout the movie.
Yeah,
so you can have all these like moments of visual flair.
You have a dozen micro stories.
Yeah, and everybody's like colorful and interesting. And then, yeah, you have all the different scenes of them having showdowns, and they're all shot. Every sequence is kind of shot in a different way. They all have their own like personality to them.
I love the Leo DiCaprio and Gene Hackman one where he goes full Hitchcock, yet he also adds in his patented Dutch angle twist to it.
Yes.
Multiple times. It's beautiful.
Yeah, and Leo's character is good too because he's the boy they call him. Or the kid. Something like that.
The kid,
but he's like young and cocky. He's so like arrogant and full of himself. And then when he gets shot, he turns into like a blubbering baby, and he's just like sad and pathetic. And it's so good.
It's so good, and you know, even as evil as Gene Hackman's character is, there's even still a little bit of sympathy for him. Like you could tell he kind of doesn't like what just happened, even though his character is just the most massive prick in the entire world.
Yeah.
It was never proved that he was my son.
Visually, not just the angles, but just the lighting, like it's very like lush. It's a good looking movie. I don't know how it did when it came out. I don't know if it was like a flop or.
I'm assuming it just did mediocre. I never hear anything about this.
Yeah, you hear something about some of those like 90s westerns that are still like Unforgiven, which is still kind of talked about and still around. And
I rented this on YouTube when I watched it, and I was did a search for Quick and the Dead, and the Siskel and Ebert review came up. They shat all over it.
Really?
Yeah.
That's why The Quick and the Dead seems so empty. Ultimately, it's just a carnival game.
This is basically high noon, and the clock is stopped at noon. It's always high noon, and whenever that little minute hand goes over to the 12, two guys are shooting it out on Main Street over and over again.
We got the dinner scene.
With Gene Hackman.
Gene Hackman talks about how his father played Russian roulette with him.
Yeah.
And he can't feel fear. and I like that his motivation when we get to the end of this, he's kind of chasing that feeling too. Like he wants the duel with he's kind of grooming Russell Crowe's character to become a killer again because he knows Russell Crowe is good. And he knows if he duels him, he will feel that fear. He'll have that excitement. He's got that line. It takes a lot to scare me. I love the sensation. I love all of the character arcs in this movie.
Yeah, There's the part at the beginning, early on, when Sharon Stone wakes up in Leo's little apartment or whatever. And there's like, this bed's really uncomfortable. And it's because there's just a bunch of explosives underneath it. And it's like, of course, that pays off at the end. Like, everything's set up. All the character arcs are wonderfully executed. And it's just visually not like super crazy Evil Dead 2 Sam Raimi, but the appropriate level of goofiness visually for a story like this.
Yeah. I love a Western when it's stylized.
Yeah.
A little bit larger than life. I love the Dollars trilogy. I love this. Same vein. I was kind of annoyed when I watched this. The Unforgiven. I remember in that movie there's a lot of talk about Gene Hackman. We couldn't get him to do the role. He agreed to do it because it's a Western that's not about violence. It's a Western about how violence is bad, and that's why Gene Hackman agreed to do this movie, because Gene Hackman felt and here he is playing this movie like a few years later, where the message is violence is great.
Maybe while he was making Unforgiven, he realized that he actually loves violence.
And that made me realize that like the PR lead up to Unforgiven was just completely full of shit.
That sounds about
it sounds about right.
The violence in this movie is great. It's fun to watch violence. Sorry. What did I have it at? I had it at number 8. But as we talk about it, now I'm like, I keep saying I want to raise these up, but if I raise them up, where do the other ones go?
I know. Sam Raimi's made a lot of good movies.
He has. But I would say out of the ones that he's done that are great, Quick and the Dead is probably the most underseen.
I felt in a ranking list of directors' movies I like, I felt weird putting a movie I hadn't seen before right under the top spot. But I think it was that good.
Okay.
I had to put it there.
Ace of Spades.
Well, that means we're at number 1.
We're number 1, which is obvious.
We clearly both have Evil Dead 2.
It is definitely Evil Dead 2 is number 1 easily. This is one of my absolute all-time favorite movies.
It's the perfect Sam Raimi movie as far as his sensibilities, his style, his use of Bruce Campbell. Evil Dead 2 is like everything you want out of this type of film.
This movie oozes creativity. It is endlessly creative. And now that I know he made this after Crime Wave, I can see how ballsy this was. Because he made Crime Wave, which was a spectacular disaster, a complete failure. Your career is nearly fucking over. So what's the obvious thing you do? You had your first hit, Evil Dead. Well, we'll make a sequel to that. So you go and make another horror movie, right?
You trick people into thinking you're making a horror movie when you've actually made a comedy.
Yes. And the fact that he had the balls to make this a slapstick comedy. The restrictions they had with the premise, because like you just have Ash alone in a cabin for like half of this movie, and the fact that they make this as entertaining as they is astounding, because they never stop finding things to do with Ash alone in this cabin.
That's the thing. The first half of the movie, nobody else is at the cabin. It's just him, and that's the best stuff in the movie.
Yeah.
Before everybody else shows up, and it's like the best showcase of Bruce Campbell's like physical abilities. I mean, that scene where he's flipping himself around in the kitchen, slamming bottles into his head, and just the little moments, like his hand is possessed, he's knocked unconscious by the hand, and then the hand out of frame notices a knife, and it does this little like excited.
Yeah.
Like the physicality of that is so good.
I was, first time I was up in Milwaukee area, 20 years ago, watching Evil Dead 2. Came like Mike was going to loan me his copy of Evil Dead 2. And I had no interest. I'm like, it's a horror movie.
Oh, you had never seen it?
I had never seen it before.
Oh my God.
I had never seen it. It's like, horror movie. I'm not really interested in horror movies. Mike's like, no, you got to watch this. You got to trust me and watch this. And I put it in. And I got to the scene where it's Bruce Campbell gets hit by the evil and he's flying through the air. And they've just got him spinning around and screaming while they're hitting him with branches. And I was in love with this movie. From that moment on, this movie just had me I was wrapped. I was watching this movie, and I at no moment did I have any idea what was going to happen next. But something interesting was going to happen next. I just wrote down like a laundry list of just every shot I like from this movie, and it's too long to read. The spinning eye shot, I love the milky eye, I love the torn up bridge miniature.
Oh yeah, well that's the other thing too to point out is all like it's one of those every trick in the book movies.
Yeah.
Action.
We got stop motion, we got miniatures, we got matte paintings, we got some really great makeup effects. Like all the monsters in this look fantastic.
We've yet to mention, and they did this in the first Evil Dead too. They did it in all the Evil Dead movies. The fucking point of view camera.
Just a camera strapped to a 2x4.
And when it goes through the car windshield was really what put it over the top for me. It really fucking sold that concept. I'm like, oh, this is awesome.
That's an impressive one because it goes through the back window and then out the front window and then continues on.
Into the cabin. You can see where they got the match cut after he like closes the door and it breaks through.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And I think there's a moment where you can see like the top of the soundstage when they're inside the cabin.
That whole part when it's chasing through the cabin.
Chases him through the fucking walls.
Yeah, you see the top of the set there, but whatever, it's fine.
I can feel them coming up with ideas, like what can we do next?
Yeah.
And just whatever creative idea they have. Wouldn't it be fun if it went through the walls?
Yeah, it's a movie that's kind of counter to everything that you think you want in a movie because there's barely any story. Usually, like, that's the most important part of a movie. You could say it's style over substance, but that's why I've never really liked that criticism to begin with, because this is a movie that technically, yes, you could say it's style over substance, but the style is the purpose. It's the whole like driving force of the movie.
It feels more like a writing challenge to me rather than there's no story. It's more, we've got this concept, this guy's alone with the camera, this alone in the cabin. Haha, wouldn't it be fun if we made a sequel and he's just alone in the cabin for the whole movie?
Yeah.
It feels like a challenge. Well, what can we do now?
Yeah.
What do we do with this concept?
Oh, now his hand is possessed.
Now his hand is possessed.
He's fighting himself.
Wouldn't it be funny if he's fighting his own hand?
And then he has these like hallucinatory moments where like the other him comes out of the mirror.
We just cut up our girlfriend with a chainsaw. Does that sound fine?
Well, it's such a simple effect, but you're not expecting it.
It's a simple effect, you're not expecting it, it's perfectly executed.
And then, of course, we have one of the best-looking monsters of all time with evil Henrietta, the hag in the basement. I love that costume, this big, saggy old lady makeup on, whatever, 20-year-old Ted Raimi.
If I'm going to criticize anything in this movie, I never much liked the long neck version of Henrietta.
Where it starts making monkey noises for some reason.
Yeah.
Well, also the lead up to it. Now, other characters finally show up at the cabin. It's the professor who was there at the cabin. It's his daughter and a couple other people. And they think that Bruce Campbell has murdered him. So they kick the shit out of him and throw him in the basement. And then they're listening to that recording, and there's that slow buildup of realization that, oh, his dead wife is buried in that cellar where Bruce Campbell is now trapped.
I buried her in the cellar. Buried her in the earthen floor of the fruit cellar.
So perfectly paced, that whole sequence.
I mean, I guess his career was almost over at that point. He just did not give a fuck.
Yeah,
we're gonna do whatever, and we're gonna have fun.
It has that attitude of that. Yeah, we're just gonna do whatever we want.
Yeah, like you talked about, like you like in Army of Darkness, like just the blatant puppet skeletons of just throwing it. I get that same vibe when Linda's headless corpse runs in with a chainsaw. It's just like running up against.
There's that comical moment right before she runs in where he opens the thing and there's the outline of the chainsaw, so you visually understand what's happening.
Yep.
But then it's like they're worried that you wouldn't get it from that, so they ADR'd him saying chainsaw.
Chainsaw.
Just to make sure you get it. And then, of course, she runs in with the chainsaw.
I'm just going to mention this just so you can show a clip of it because the lamp.
Oh,
when he's
lamp.
going up and down with the lamp and he's just lost it.
That's the moment that they introduce other characters finally arriving at the cabin, and that's like his breaking point, like mentally, where everything in the cabin is now alive and laughing at him, and then he just joins in. He's looking at that lamp and he's like bobbing up and down with it.
He has gone mad.
He's gone mad, and then they shoot then he hears the noise outside, shoots the door, and that's kind of that, like, I don't know, water being splashed in his face where he is brought back to reality. If they hadn't showed up at the cabin, that would have been the end of Ash. He would have been just out of it.
More eyeball action, please.
Even the subtle things, I'm watching this, I'm like, it's just Ash opening a door, and they cut to multiple like point of view shots, and he stumbles, and they have a point of view stumble.
And also the sound design in the movie is great. There's lots of like weird, dry, like cracking noises, and there's that part where it's all the camera work because nothing's actually happening. They're in the corner and they're just looking around, and it's all sound design, and then distorted shots. But there's nothing actually happening. And it's yet, still great.
And yet you still understand that's a perfect visual representation of just something trying to break into this world.
Yeah, something otherworldly. Something that doesn't physically exist. It's like a simpler version of the Evil Dead vision going through the woods.
Yeah.
We don't have budget to do anything here. Just point the camera at these ceiling beams and we'll add sound effects. And it works.
What the hell is that?
That's how a low-budget movie can compete with something like The Shawshank Redemption to be my favorite movie of all time. Just sheer creativity and just a director and camera work that won't let the movie be boring for even a moment.
Yeah, clever filmmaking.
He will never have nothing to lose ever again.
That's true.
Yeah.
He's set for life now.
Yeah.
This is a film that could only be made by a young person.
That's our ranking.
That's our ranking. That's Sam Raimi's the only filmmaker we've talked about in one of these videos where he could still potentially make more movies. So I don't know.
Will we amend this?
In 3 years, when Sam Raimi makes another movie, we'll just add a pinned comment under the video. How about that?
That sounds like a good idea. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
We'll just reshoot the whole video.
We'll do it again. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Seems like a lot of work. We've been doing this for like 8 hours now.
That's true.
I have to pee.
I've had to pee. I've gone to the bathroom like 4 times while we shot this video.
I really, really need to pee. I don't know why.